fans, Black Friday has come early this year, and we're ripping up our prices for a limited time only. Get the heaviest hitting deal of the year. Save up to 33% on all plans and stack up your fight calendar with over 150 fights a year. Live on The Zone.
What a fight we have here in our main event.
And then enjoy a knockout November schedule. Subscribe before November 29th. Sign up at thezone.com/boxing.
Okay, wee bit of breaking news in the last hour or so. A statement from Conor Benn claiming that he has now been cleared of any wrongdoing by the National Anti-Doping Panel over his positive drug tests, two I believe, in 2022, meaning he is free to fight again. I'm just going to read this statement that Conor Benn left. He said, "I am thankful that after an incredibly challenging 2 years, the National Anti-Doping Panel has today finally cleared me of any wrongdoing. This past 24 months have unquestionably been the toughest of my life, a rollercoaster period within which the WBC had already decided that I was innocent. They didn't actually accept your reason for being innocent. They came up with one themselves and you okayed it, which makes absolutely no sense, but I'm just interjecting there. I'll carry on. And the National Anti-Doping Panel decided in the first instance that there was no case to answer for and I was free to fight. As someone who was passionate about boxing and an advocate for clean sport, I hope now I have been cleared. It can be understood why I have maintained my innocence so strongly throughout. As a man of God, I bear no ill will towards UKAD or the British Boxing Board of Control. We have shared ambition of a clean sport, and I look forward to reconciling with the board and moving forward together. I would like to thank my fans that have stood by me. Your support has never and will never go unnoticed. And of course, my friends and family, all of whom have displayed an unwavering belief in me. Only with the strength of all this support have I made it true. I would like to thank Matchroom and Everlast as their steadfast support ensured that I could see the process through to the full conclusion. I have stayed disciplined and focused despite the challenge faced, which is a testament to my desire to be great. I'm relieved to finally close this chapter, and I am excited to get back in the ring to realise my ultimate potential. Who wants it next? Conor Benn." That's a statement from Conor Benn. And no sooner did he make that statement, he started mentioning and I had to laugh, you know, the likes he was mentioning. He chucked a few names on them there. Tank Davis, a lightweight, okay. Errol Spence, a 154 pounder now, who is probably shot to bits. And Devin Haney, 140 pounder. He mentioned someone else, but I'm assuming it might have been Stanionis, the way he worded it. Where's Boots Ennis? You want to call it 154 pounder? Where's Virgil Ortiz? Where are these actual guys who, you know, have something? Not small guys or someone like a Devin Haney, but hey. So I seen that earlier and I said, okay, I'm going to go and do a video on it now. I did, before I read this statement from UKAD, and actually I'm only reading it for the first time here, so it's going to be interesting to see what they say. I seen that he mentioned that it was the National Anti-Doping Panel, and obviously last year, it was about September time, was when he fought in Florida, I believe it was. That, I believe, was down to, I'm trying to think of the word, what it was. It was kind of like location, like, was it within the, I can't remember the ins and outs. I can't remember the exact ins and outs of it. But basically, the reason why they cleared Conor Benn back then, or certainly, I don't want to say lifted his suspension, for a wrong word, but it was something to do that it was not within certain jurisdictions, I think. I can't remember the ins and outs of it, right? And it meant that he could then fight in Florida. He went and had his fight in Florida, and he fought in Las Vegas, I believe it was, earlier this year against that Peter Dobson guy. Very small little venue, but nevertheless he did fight there. Then we started hearing UKAD were digging their heels, and then we kind of went silent again with all this. Now, when I was reading that statement, he mentioned, you know, amicable and all this forgiveness with UKAD, the British Boxing Board of Control. He never mentioned them in a sense of he's been cleared by them. So, UKAD statement on Conor Benn, which they confirmed, the National Anti-Doping Panel decided to dismiss the charges against Benn as they were not comfortably satisfied with UKAD's case. However, UK insists they still have, it's like Groundhog Day, 21 days to appeal. UKAD notes that professional boxer Mr. Conor Benn has made public comments today regarding the outcome of the processing before the Independent National Anti-Doping Panel. UKAD can confirm that it received the decision of the Independent National Anti-Doping Panel this afternoon. The panel concluded that it was not comfortably satisfied that UK had provided that Mr. Benn had committed an anti-doping violation for use of clomiphene. The professional suspension provisionally in place has now been lifted against him. Has been consequently dismissed. UKAD will now carefully review the panel's decision in accordance with the right to appeal under the UK anti-doping rules. In accordance with Article 852, the UKAD, would just say, is unable to publicly disclose the decision of the National Anti-Doping Panel at the time without Mr. Benn's consent. Completely right as well. In accordance with Article 13.7.1 of UKAD has 21 days from the date of the decision to file an appeal. All other parties, as that term is defined within the rules, have a separate right to appeal. So now it's the question, will UKAD appeal? Now, what is Conor Benn, what was UKAD's reason? So I believe originally, again, going back to last year, it was the fact that it was apparently outside UKAD's jurisdiction or something, the violation or something like that. I can't remember the ins and outs of it. But UKAD weren't happy, and then it just seemed like we went back to square one again. Now, I am someone who, I definitely have always said this, I wouldn't be necessarily for ban someone outright if they failed the PED test. You know, if it's a recurrent situation, and you know, you could say, well, Conor Benn's failed more than one test, but you know what I mean, if you've been popped, you've served a ban, and you do it again and repeat, then we need to amplify the punishment each time to the point where it just becomes, you know, you can't do anything. And I've always said, for the first time offenders, I would go 12 to 18 months because it's sufficient enough that it will take you out of the ring, but it's not that long that it's going to really hinder you. It's going to teach you a lesson, but it's not a slam dunk, gone, you're out, because things happen. You know, there are people who genuinely maybe did not watch what they were eating, they consumed something that, you know, things can happen, and you know, okay, if you do it again, then we're looking at maybe 2 to 3 years, maybe more, because that's really going to hit you hard, and so on and so forth, extending it for every indiscretion. Now, this has dragged on for now over 2 years. It has been, come April next year, 6 months away, it will have been 3 full years since Conor Benn would have fought in the UK. And I know there's a lot of rumours going around that him versus Eubank is reportedly potentially going to be set for the February 22nd card in Saudi Arabia. Now, if it is for that card, and you may say, well, it's in Saudi Arabia, that is under the jurisdiction of the British Boxing Board of Control. And would they, at this point, look, because at the end of the day, whether you like Conor Benn or not, and I definitely have my own opinion of Conor Benn as a person, I don't think he's the brightest. It has been 2 years. I know he's had those little nothing fights, yes, but it has been 2 years. What more are we going to get by UKAD digging the heels? And I'm not trying to defend them, but it's been 2 years. Surely now it's kind of a time to draw a line in the sand. Maybe something's been agreed behind the scenes. Maybe UKAD won't appeal it. Maybe, you know, they'll say, do you know what, 2 years been 2 years. There's no point digging our heels in. Let's just all go our separate ways. It's done. Hopefully we don't see each other again. As you know, the old saying goes, if it's not good to be seeing someone, you say hopefully we won't see each other again in the nicest way. And maybe that'll be the end of that. We'll wait and see. But that's the situation. So Conor Benn provisionally now is free to box. I know with Florida, the reason why he was allowed to fight was that apparently they checked with the British board, was he suspended? And they said no. So that was him A-OK to fight. So what is going on? Conor Benn apparently cleared, well, definitely cleared now from the National Anti-Doping Panel. UKAD can appeal. Will they, though? Because at the end of the day, and again, not trying to defend Conor Benn necessarily, but it's been 2 years. Surely this is long enough. And surely digging your heels again is just going to... We're kicking this can down the road for 2 years. And UKAD didn't do himself any favour in the Tyson Fury situation. It was shocking how they handled that Tyson Fury situation, to the point where we had no resolution involved, or we had no real resolution until they cleared Tyson Fury. And didn't necessarily clear him, they just gave him a backdated ban, by which time the amount of time had elapsed that he'd already served the ban. So surely that's what they're going to do this time for Conor Benn. But again, it doesn't make UKAD look good. Conor Benn's not come out with this looking the best either, of course not. Conor Benn has handled this completely the wrong way. And I'm sure I think even Eddie Hearn has acknowledged that. You know, look at the way Dylan White has handled these things. Look at the way even Ryan Garcia's handled it. Yeah, he denied it at first. He took his ban and that's it. People are still cheering him like mad now. You know, whereas Conor Benn, it's been trying to avoid this, do this, say this, do this, blame everyone. Oh, it's always me. They have agenda against me. For what? There's no reason. But I think now with UKAD, it's like, right, it's going to probably... It's already got looking great on them. The name's been dragged through the mud. I would say just draw a line in the sand at this point. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. It's been an interesting one, isn't it? We'll watch this. We're back to square one with the... Back to square one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I hope you enjoyed it. People, smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. Peace.